Anyway, Token 2 is brought to you by Omega Force. Yes, the makers of Dynasty Warriors, but in probably one of my most favorite companies, and everybody knows this. This is news. Everybody knows how much I love Dynasty Warriors, how much I love all this stuff. And Token 2 is the sequel to Toukiden Kiwami, which was a PSP title that got ported to PS4. But the first one was called Toukiden Age of Demons. Toukiden Kiwami basically added not just one game, but essentially the add-on, or more or less kind of, I wouldn't say that Kiwami part was the sequel, but it did add a heck of a lot more that takes place after the events of the first Toukiden. In this particular game, though, what Omega Force has done, ladies and gentlemen, in the YouTube community, how you doing, is brought to you an open world experience. That's right. Instead of faulting back to the map settings like Monster Hunter does and others, and don't get me wrong, I love Monster Hunter. I put crazy hours in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Probably it was the only reason I bought a Wii U, even though there was a lot of cool games I bought later on. And I have God Eater, and I love God Eater. God Eater Resurrection is awesome, which is basically the first game in the series that got ported from the PSP, and the God Eater 2 Rage Burst is fantastic. I love Monster Hunter style games. But Toukiden, I just fell instantly in love with the demo and then bought the game. And this is the demo I'm playing. The game is not out for, I think it comes out next week, or maybe the week after. I don't know if it's the 27th. I think it's the 27th. The demo, though, is going to allow me to carry my save over. But what they did differently in this game, folks, which is really cool, is they actually bothered to make it open world. Here's your village. You can travel all over. You still have the same systems. You fight monsters, get parts, craft, do all this cool stuff. And this is your basic town. And it's fairly large. I mean, if you go to your map, you can scale out if you want. I usually put about 2. If I go to the actual, here's your map there on the square, and there's just so much. I think it was a really, really cool concept for them to go open world, because they're the first in the genre, I think, to do that, where it's actually fully realized open world, and that's really nice. Let's talk to this guy. He's like, welcome. So, Belmont, you're accustomed to life in this village yet? But yes. Glad to hear it. It can be a bit rough around the edges, but Horrible is a fine place. All of the slayers are very kind too. I'm doing the voices, by the way. This is not actually voiced. Why, just the other day, a merchant came from the Holy Mount to Sagamore Fortress and went to make some purchases. We were talking shop for hours, and before I knew it, night had fallen. Because the forest is dangerous at night, one of the guards was kind enough to escort me back home. We were attacked by a manhunter, and I made it back alive thanks to him. However, in order to let me get away, that guard got seriously injured. I feel so guilty about it. That manhunter seems to have got a taste for man flesh. Taste for man flesh. Yeah. A little bit of innuendo there? And now it appears, during the night. I hope something can be done before the next merchant visits. Sorry, I'm wasting your time. My wife always says I babble on too much. Sorry, Belmont. Now, what I can help you with? Basically nothing, because you already knew that's exactly what was going to happen. Hey, I'm going to mention a creature and you got to go fight it. Typical gaming stuff, but that's okay, because that's Bomber. Like, I'm okay with that. I don't have any problem with that. Just like Toukiden before, you can actually take on these missions, and there's different phases, reclaim the mines and whatnot, and you can do all that. You can also train here, which trains you different weapons, and there are a couple new styles of, and it shows you here different kinds of support style. And this is what's cool, is because you actually have different styles of training now based on your Mitama, which are in your weapons. So you actually can create different ones. You got your speed style, defense style, attack style. Like, so you can make a tank, you can make support, you can, and that's a really nice thing that they added. Chain whip training. I'm using the chain whip because I am, playing a character based off a Castlevania character named Belmont. I don't remember. There is a way somehow, like if you want to go roam the free world by yourself, you can. But right now, as it states, I can't do that. Earlier I could, and then something happened, and now all of a sudden I got to have these people with me when I'm roaming around doing whatever. I don't really know if there's a way to dismiss party members. I'm not real sure, but what's cool is when I venture out into the world, my guys will join me, and this is what's cool about the game. It's totally open world. It's just go wherever, do whatever, fight monsters, hunt stuff, do that. And that's one of the biggest single, I think, cool aspects that they did to the game. And that was the demon hand you just saw. I'm going to whip these guys with a chain whip, which is pretty cool. You actually level up now the various abilities of your Mitama, and not just the Mitama itself, which is pretty cool. And I like that aspect. Looks like I'm going to be fighting a Manhunter. Manhunter was a spider-like creature from the first game. The first major boss you fight in Toukiden Kiwami is that character. I'm going to do the little crazy whip action here. And the chain whip is badass. I actually created this better version of it. It really is this really cool thing. I found a crest, and those are things you can unlock. The game has a lot of hidden stuff to it too. These roleplay aspects are nice. I really dig it. We gotta fight these guys. Again, I can use my demon claw thing to like grapple a character and then attack it from afar if I want. And I love the fact that they did all this really cool stuff. For example, I can, with the chain whip, if I target a character, for example, if I throw a kunai out, and hit the target, and then hold like square and then back, I'll actually attack that and it'll explode. I can do multiple, attacks. They did this with all the weapons too. You have multiple attacks now, and it's nice. I can actually hold this down, attach to it, go forwards, and spring to it. Try it again here. And sometimes it works and sometimes it wants to, but depending on the size of the creature, you can actually launch yourself. There we go. And there's just some really cool things you can do now. Boom, making it explode. You still have the Eye of Truth that allows you to see how much health these characters have. Let's go ahead and do this and put a little bit of might on my character so I can do more damage. And what's cool is you can actually individually target with that demon hand now. You can actually grapple onto various parts that you would like to grapple onto. I'm just tearing them up, which is pretty cool. I still haven't got quite the handle on it. You can actually pull yourself towards the kunai if you like, which is cool. Boom, I just made it explode again, which is pretty cool. It's about done. I'm going to go into this, multi-combo mode. And it's done. And you do have relations with characters now. They do improve over time. They can improve and disprove, which is interesting. I like that aspect of the game, for example. And again, this is this whole thing. You can actually just, explore, do whatever you want. You can still do, commands to your characters you're in. And you can just spend time running the roads, going wherever, doing whatever. It's just a really awesome concept. The fact that Toukiden 2 decided to do this whole open world thing really brings this amazing, fun game. And the demo, while only lets you play through the first basic chapters of the game, I will be able to carry this character and save over to the first game. Some of the things, like I said, the whip is awesome. I love this thing. This thing is badass, and you can actually attack your kunai and make it explode. If you hold down square, see the animation there, it makes it explode. Well, you hold down square and then hit back is what you do. And if you time it, look, he does that cool animation. You got this cool combo here that lets you just go hog wild. It's just the chain whip is just so badass. It's one of the new weapons they added to the game. They only added 2 new weapons, But what they did with the other weapons is add a whole bunch of different new attacks as well, which is really, really cool. Um, and I like that. Of course, you have your demon hand, which allows you to grapple onto stuff, boom, and launch yourself up in the air. It's a new traversal thing that was added, which is really nice. And there's characters you meet out in the world, and there's a lot of side quests. There's a big boss there. It's probably that manhunter that they want me to go take on, which I don't have a problem doing. I gladly fight it. You get parts and stuff for doing it. So let's see what's going on here. Yeah, yep. I can hear that boss kind of battle music popping. And again, I was wondering how they were going to do this with the boss battles, because you sit here and there it is. There's the Manhunter, a creature from the first game. It was the first boss you ever fought. But we're gonna tear the shit out of this thing. We're gonna put a little might on, do a little bit more damage. Might allows me with my Matama to boom, in the air. You can actually do that twice in the air and get even higher up, which is really, really nice. Let's go ahead and try to get around this guy. I'm gonna go ahead and auto target. I'm gonna do the super combo on him. Run out there, but that's okay. Now you gotta destroy his body parts. You purify them, and this is how you get like parts to make other weapons and other stuff, which is pretty cool. Oh, he just webbed me. Graphically, the game is much improved over Toukiden and Kiwami, obviously, and the creative player is so much better than it actually was. It's just they did such a good job on it, and I love the fact that it's just solidly improved. The Eye of Truth don't drain so fast. Your stamina doesn't drain as fast as it did. I still have, the ability to heal myself, and dodge. I've got a super built up. Boom. Nailed the crap out of it. Stunned it. Took a big chunk out of its health there, as you can see. I'm just attacking the crap out of it. Let's throw some Kuni at it. Boom. Make him explode. Do some damage. The Manhunter is a spider-like creature that you fight. I'm very pleased with what they've done with the sequel. The sequel, in demo alone, gives you a ton of gameplay. And I am very looking forward to buying the actual full version of this. I can see myself putting hundreds of hours into this game, because basically that's how the Toukiden Kiwami was. I went crazy. I put so many hours in the first game because there's just so much to do in it, so many weapons, all the upgrades, everything you do. It's just amazing in the game. This is its super attack. It does this when it gets enraged. I'm going to try to get these parts. Put a little recovery on there. Yeah, I had to take a hit, unfortunately. And it does do some damage. But another thing I can do is leech. And if I use leech, I can, there we go. Boom. Attack it from above. Boom. If I use the leech ability, I can actually, if I hit it, I'll actually get health back, as you can see there on the screen. Again, a lot of the systems from the first one's in place, but it's just so much better of a game. The open world exploration, all the stuff that you can do in it is nice. So I'm protecting myself behind the trees, so it can't get through the trees there. It's pretty nice that they did do that. Go back to normal there. Boom, attacker, make those explode. It's about done. It's done. Cool. Fantastic. Beat the hell out of them. It is easier. Your AI partners, by the way, are incredibly competent. They do such a great job. And they really do. And that was a sub-target, which means it was a sub-quest. We can go back to town. Again, the open world structure is nice because it does allow you. And for those who think, I can't go here or there. No, I can go all the way down here, and I'll go to this edge, for example. No, I can go down here, and I can keep going down here. It's a massive map. The first map is just huge, Look at this. It's great. And you can just explore and do whatever you want. This is a really nice like feature and function. They added a basic fast travel system too. So like if you find these stones in the game, you can travel between stones and worlds there, and it's just nice to be able to do that. It's a new thing that they added, and that's something that the other games didn't have in it, but that's okay. I'm gonna heal real quick. Now they're on free right now, so they're going off doing their own thing, collecting stuff, and it comes to me. But if I hit follow, they will stay with me the whole time, which is nice. And again, this is just this whole fun open world. Fight these things here. It's just such a joy to play. It is. If you're a Monster Hunter fan, you gotta play some Toukiden, and especially this demo. The demo's out now on the PS4 network. You can download it. And the cool thing about it, even though it's only going to let me play through the first chapter of the game, I can sit here the entire time and just farm and fight stuff and do stuff to help build my character up and have it really prepared to go once the whole game once the actual game comes out here next week. So it's going to be really nice to, love that. Boom. It's just great how you can do that. I love the fact that they put this Demon Claw traversal system in here, and just sit there and you can do it over and over. It's very cool. It's almost like having a Spider-Man like thing. It's just great, As you can see here, it is becoming daytime. There is full-on day and night cycles, something that again was added to this game. They just did this great job. I mean, they really did, and I'm really pleased with the overall demo. Sun's coming up. There are more dangerous creatures at night. They just took the entire system of Toukiden and that Monster Hunter-like feel, and just really, really, just 180'd it and made this great freaking thing. So let's talk to this guy. Welcome. Thanks for your business, Belmont. What? You defeated that manhunter? Again, I'm doing the voices. Incredible! Thank you so much. I really have to do something to thank you. This is the best I can do right now. Please go ahead. One more thing. It sounds like a merchant will be visiting Sakamoto Fortress soon. With no manhunter to threaten me, I can now fill up completely on supplies. Please keep bringing me your business right here. So, again, that's how you kind of like line up your shop and get better stuff. You can sell materials, weapons, and armor. You can buy weapons and armor. Here's this Ophidian whip. This is pretty cool. It shows you how your attack goes up. Your dex might go down, but this is actually says chain whip made a black iron all these assassinations named for something to be feared. This is because I got manhunter parts. It's going to allow me to build that now. There's different whips. I mean, it's so neat the way that they set this up. Like here's a sword and shield combo. There is a sword inside that shield. And again, you have different ones. You got these different rifles. So if you're a ranged character, you can it's some really good models of the weapons. And I really like that. Like it's just the way that they set the game up. And I think it's great. You get elbow and a variety of stuff that you can have. Shadow sickle. I mean, it's just neat. I love it. I'm gonna go ahead and build. I'm actually going to see what kind of armor he's got. And you can check out the different looks of it, the different stats, what it does, which is pretty cool. Holy Guard armor, there's Guard armor and then Holy Guard armor. And again, this is all stuff you can build because you have been gaining parts from creatures and whatnot. I think it's great. Like, I love it. You can also go over here and talk to the blacksmith. Welcome. What can I do for you today? You can go to Fortify Weapon, Reforge Weapon. These are new features that were not in the original game. Create Weapon. So I don't have enough to make the Ophidian Whip, right? But I can actually buy it, which is kind of nice. Right now I'm using the Serpent Whip, and that's kind of cool. You can reforge your weapon if you have additional weapons, and there's different possibilities. And if I had some snake skin, I can reforge it. I might actually get a better whip out of it or something different, I think that's great that they actually added like more. Here's some Stygian sleeves. You know, if I want to get that, Stygian headgear, Stygian robe. I'd probably have to fight a couple more manhunters to get that. But it's nice. Again, you also have a reforge armor that lets you get possibility. You can actually fortify with you have the right equipment. You can afford, like if I had blinding rope, I can fortify it, make it better defense. Again, all this stuff is Monster Hunter doesn't have per se like leveling. You do level your Matama and its abilities, but you level your weapons and your armor. If you have a particular armor that you really like or a particular style of weapon you have, you can continuously making it like an uber weapon. You don't necessarily have to keep creating better and better weapons. You can stick with the same stuff if you have a particular look. I have hide helmet on. That's why I have that. So I actually do want to get that new whip because I lose a little bit of agility, but I do get better. Attack with it. So let's say yes, equip the Ophidian whip. So that's on there. I can go to sell. I'm going to sell my one weapon that I'm not using now, which is a serpent whip. Sell the serpent whip, get a little bit of cash out of it, you know, a little bit of recoup. It's pretty nice. And now I've got this. I got this better whip, which is great. And so I got this dark kind of colored whip now. This is your house. In your house, you can change your equipment, obviously. If you just want to be like some people love to do the whole let's do the whole multiple weapons and never get rid of anything. If you're just a weapon collector, you can do that. I usually don't do that. It gives you a good look at your character. You can change the hair, eyebrows, his accessories. This is my character here, and their hairstyle. You get messages here. You know, this right here is you can stay at home until the morning if you want, or you can wait till morning. That used to be in the other game where you saved, but now you save on the fly. Like if you can pause. I meant to hit. You can go to the system and save it on the fly, which I always felt like the game needed, and now it has. It seems like they addressed almost every issue that the game had in the first one. You can talk to people, you know, talk to this person, and you can talk to different people. It's just randomized and whatnot. You can, like I said, walk around the town if you want. That's the Shrine Maiden. Excuse me for yawning. That's the Shrine Maiden up there. And you can just do all this, you know, it's just such a great game. I really, really am looking forward to getting into, like, more of this. I do actually have to visit another timeline, the Age of Peace as it's called. That's the next step in what I have to do. I haven't done it yet because I just, you know, I've been kind of messing around trying to just, you know, fight stuff and do stuff and you know, gain abilities and gain like parts and whatnot, and trying to get that. But the little arrow's telling me basically where I need to go, so you can go forward. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and keep them on free. And here's another thing you can do, by the way. You can actually individually command. So you could have one character follow you and the other two go free if you like. You could have, I mean, it's kind of neat that they actually did it that way. So now you can have give individual rudimentary orders to all the characters, which is really cool. I mean, like if I wanted one person to follow me to protect me, and if I wanted another, you know, to go and attack, and another one to be defensive, you can do that now. None of that was in the original game. You couldn't individually, individually do the things with the characters. So it's kind of nice, you know, that you can do that now and command them individually, you know. So it's just nice, you know. I think it's a great feature and a new little something that they added. So you can keep one party member with you and let them help you out. So I'm supposed to be going over here. And again, this is the first little area, and it's a very big map. And because I know the game is locked off on the demo, so it's kind of like, you know, it's pretty impressive. So I grab that fire, for example, and I can attack stuff, you know. See, I can grab an element of fire and use the demon head and throw a big fireball out. Again, another cool little aspect to the game. stuff that again was kind of unexpected, and it's just excellent. They do all this. Again, if you are a fan of role play, this has many role play elements. If you're a fan of Monster Hunter, if you're a fan of open world games and stylized combat, this pretty much has all of that and then some. So here's one of the little outposts I came to. Watcher's Outpost, as it's called, and it's kind of nice because here's a stone. This will let me. This will actually let me. Wait a minute, this is part of the story. So this is the entrance to the other world, and that's where the Oni come from, essentially. And if I go here, and cross the barrier, now I'm in the Age of Peace. In the original game, you went to different ages, but you would load into it, and now this is just, hey, this is where you're at. See, it's kind of cloudy. The trees are different. Your characters are commenting on it. It's neat that they did that. This transition is awesome. Like, I love the fact that it does that. Now the clouds changed. Again, this is this whole open world situation. Somebody standing here. I don't know if I can talk to him or what's going on. She's talking about the poison mist created by Oni. That's what we're seeing. So that's interesting. Beer in the throat. So you got to purify the world, basically. So, checking this out. I might come back and talk to her, maybe. That's what I was hoping to be able to do. There we go. Sorry being quiet, I'm just reading. So this is kind of neat because she's going to tell you stuff. So I'm just going to skip it for now. I might come back to it later to kind of figure out what you're supposed to be able to do. I'm not sure. Truth. I always do that. Move the camera when I don't want you to move it. I think I like the concept that you have to actually purify some of the world. Joint operation. Oh, there's a lot of creatures here. Oh yes. Take some of that. That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah. I love this chain whip. It's just awesome. I think I had it like one of my side quests was complete a or complete one of the those quests there, a joint operation. I think that was one of the side things I had to do. Again, this is all open world. This is what I love, the fact that they went that direction. You can't get much better than that. I'm still just exploring. I have no idea how big the world is. I haven't really found too much information about size-wise, but the fact that they did add this aspect is great. And again, there is a way to like not travel with companions if you don't want to. I don't remember what happened, and they're making me basically travel with companions, but it's kind of funny that I have to. Now this is a character that just joined, so now I've got 4 people. Got you. That was a character that wasn't with me before, so that's somebody I met out here. Damn, it's that camera that throws me off. It's just such a fun game. I love this chain whip. It's just first time I saw the chain whip on a video, I was like, wow, this game, that's what I'm going to be using. Absolutely. And I just, because I'm a big fan of Castlevania, big fan of anything that's kind of like with a whip, it's great. It's such a cool weapon. You don't see it in a lot of games. Playing Bloodborne, that I made Simon Belmont in that, and I used the trick cane, which also turns into this big chain whip, and I just love it, you know, love it. Tearing them up. I'm gonna throw a little. Boom! I love it. You can make those kunai explode. It's awesome. It's so much fun. Absolutely, guys. You should really check out this game. It's just a blast. I'm gonna save it, and I know it's getting kind of lengthy with the video, but that was Toukiden 2, and that's just a demo. Right now, you can download this demo on the PlayStation Network, and I'm telling you, Monster Hunter fan. You know, you're going to love it. If you're not a fan of that, you will be a fan after you play this game because it is a blast. You can make males and females, and this game also allows you to have sliders. You can change the eyes, nose width, chin. You can do all the stuff you see in other major roleplay games. It's excellent. You should totally check it out. And you should totally pre-order it at your local G-Stop or your local Amazon. Well, they're not really local. Or your Best Buy or any place like that, because it's going to be a great game, one that's going to offer you hundreds of hours of gameplay, just like the other ones have. Anyway, I'm the Juice Man. Thanks for sitting down at the round table. I am the man that tells you the way it is. And as always, gamers, good gaming.